Hello everyone, welcome to Career Launcher CL LST. Today we are going to talk about MH CET Law Entrance 2025, and this is a marathon session. We are going to do a lot of questions on MH CET 2025. Now let's start. So basically, the quant section in MH CET has 8 questions, and those 8 questions have 8 marks. These kind of questions are asked. These kind of questions have simple arithmetic, a little bit of algebra, quadratic ones, and apart from that, there is no other topic that is going to be asked. There is no negative marking in the exam, and we are going to see that how we can approach the section. Hello, Priyanshi, how are you? So one thing I would ask all of you to do, that is, if you have any doubt, any confusion at any point of time, kindly drop a message in the chat box and I'll take all of your queries. And it's important to ask questions, it's important to ask doubts. So let's make this session a very interactive session. I'm also good, Priyanshi. So now let's start. Okay, so this is our question number 1. So what does it say? It says that in 80-liter mixture of milk and water are in the ratio of 5:3. Okay, if 16 liters of this mixture is replaced by 16 liters of milk, then ratio of milk is to water will be what? Okay, so that's the question. Okay, so what do we have? We have 80-liter of mixture, and out of that 80-liter mixture, we have what happened? Okay. I think the screen sharing was off. Okay. So out of the 80-liter mixture, 16 liter is replaced. It means you have taken out 16 liters of the solution. Okay. So how much solution is left out? That is 64 liters. And in that 64 liters, you are adding up 16 liters of milk. That's the question. Simple, right? Now in this 64 liters, milk is to water ratio is going to be same as the previous one, that is 5:3. So just do one thing, break this 64 liters into 5:3. So 5 by 8 is going to be 40, 2 by 8 is going to be 24. Okay. So in this 64 liter of the solution, milk was 40, water was 24. Now you are adding 16 liters of milk. So what is the final quantity of milk you are going to have? 56. What is the final quantity of water you are going to have? That is 24. Now I can cancel out by 8. So 8 sevens are 56, 8 threes are 24. So ratio of milk is to water becomes 7:3, and that's option C. So this is the approach that we are going to follow to solve this question or any question that is of this type. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Okay. Now what does it say? It says that A and B, when working together for 5 hours each day, takes 40 days to complete a job. 5 hours each day takes 8 days to complete a job. Okay, so what does it say actually? That A plus B together can complete a job in 40 hours, 8 days, 5 hours every day. So total number of hours they are working are 40 hours. Now the same job gets completed by A in 10 days if he is working for 80 hours each day. Okay, so it means A is finishing the job in 80 hours alone. Okay, so what is the common multiple of 40 and 80? 80. So I am assuming that total work is 80. Okay, so what is the, so now A plus B can finish 80 units in 40 hours. It means in 1 hour they can finish 2 units. A alone can finish 80 units in 80 hours. So A can do 1 unit every hour. So what should be the efficiency of B? That should be 1 unit every hour. Now the total work is 80. So B is going to take total of 80 hours to finish the job. Okay. Now if B is working 6 hours every day. So how many days? 80 upon 6. So it is going to be 13 days and 2 hours. So answer of this question is going to be option C, that is 13 days and 2 hours. So I hope everyone is clear with this. Now let's move on to the next one. Now what does it say? That the ratio of present ages of Anju and Sandhya is 13:7. Okay. 4 years ago, their respective ratios of the ages was 11:15. Okay. So 4 years ago, if I talk about Anju and Sandhya, their ages were 11x and 15x, right? So in 4 years, Anju is going to age 4 years. So Anju's current age is going to be 11x plus 4. Sandhya's current age is going to be 15x plus 4. And this should be equal to 13 upon 17. Okay. So how we can solve this question, right? So basically this is something we have. Okay. Now just cross multiply, that is going to be 187x plus 17 for the 68. This is going to be what? 195x plus 52. So from here we can say 16x is equal to this is going to be not 16x, 8x is equal to 16. So x comes out to be 2. Okay. So 4 years ago, Anju's age was 22. Sandhya's age was 30. So currently Anju's age is going to be 26. Sandhya's age is going to be 34. And that's what we got, right? Now 6 years hence, the age of this is going to be 26. So 6 years hence, that's going to be 32. This is going to be 40. So now the ratio of ages is going to be 8:9. The answer of this question is going to be option D, that is none of these. So that's how we can approach this question. So whenever you find a question of age, this is a very standard approach. So today we are going to take few more question of ages and in all the question of ages, this is the approach that we are going to follow all the times. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. What does it say? Okay. Now the population of a town was 48,600. Okay. It increased by 25%. Okay. So what is 25%? 1 by 4. Okay. So it was 48,600. It increased by 1 by 4. So this comes out to be what? This is 12,150. So the population increased by 12,150. Initially it was 48,600 and it increased by 12,150. So this comes out to be what? 0, 5, 7, 60. 60,750. Okay. Okay. Now this is the increment. Now it decreased by 8% in the second year. What is the population? Okay. So how we can calculate that? Okay. So we are going to figure out that what is the approach. Okay. So if it decreased by 8%, it means what is the 8% of it? Okay. So 8% means 8 by 100 of 60,750. That is one approach we can take. 0, 0. Okay. Now 2 4s are 2 5s are. This cancels out. This comes out to be 12, 15. Okay. Now this is going to be what? 6000, sorry, 4860. Okay, so minus 4860 will be the answer. So this is going to be 6, this is going to be 9, then 16 minus 6, this is 8. So 890, that is there only in one option, that is option D. Everyone is clear with this? Priyanshi, understood? Okay. Now let's start this question. What does it says? Okay. So what does it says? Two trains of different lengths running in opposite direction cross a man standing on a platform in 21 seconds and 19 seconds respectively. Okay. So basically, what is the concept behind this question? So the concept behind this question is when a train crosses a person, it means that train crosses its own length, right? So the first length of the first train is, let's say, L1. Length of the second train is what? Let's say L2. The speed of the first one is, let's say, V1. The speed of the second one is V2. Okay. So basically, the first train crosses a man. It means it is crossing its own length, right? So it is crossing L1 with what speed? V1. In how much time? 21 seconds. So it is going to be distance is equal to speed into time. Okay. What is L2? I can say that is going to be 19 times V2. Now, one train is going like this, second train is going like this. So basically, they are, when they two trains are crossing each other, it means they are crossing L1 plus L2. Okay, so L1 plus L2 is equal to 23 times. So basically, total distance is this. Total time is 23 seconds, and in the opposite direction, their speeds are going to be V1 plus V2. So that's what we got. Okay. Now this is going to be 27 V1 plus 19 V2 is equal to 23 V1 plus 23 V2. So from here I can say that 4 V1 is equal to 4 V2. It means V1 is equal to V2. It means the ratio of speeds is going to be 1:1, and that's option B. So that's how we are going to solve this question. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. What does it say? Okay. Now, so we have this equation, x square is equal to 10. Okay, so x can be said as plus minus root 10, right? So x can be, so what is root 10? That is 3 point something, right? So x is either 3 point something or minus 3 point something. Okay, now this is an equation that I need to factorize. So if I factorize, I'm going to get y minus 4 to y minus 5, and that's equal to 0. So y is either 4 or 5, and x is either 3 point something or minus 3 point something, whatever it is. Now, x can be this. If x is 3 point something, then y is either 4, y is or 5, y is always greater than x. If x is minus 3 point something, y is again greater than x. It means y is always going to be greater than x. It doesn't matter which value of x you pick, which value of y you pick. So answer of this question is going to be option C, that is y is always greater than x. Okay. Now let's look at a different question. What does it say? It says that 2x square minus 15x plus 27. Okay. So 2x square minus, this is I think going to be 9x minus 6x plus 27, and that's equal to 0. So let's take x common. So 2x minus 9 minus 3 common, 2x minus 9, and that's equal to 30. So from here we are going to get x minus 3 into x minus 2x minus 9 is equal to 0. So this statement gives me two values of x. One is 3, second is 9 by 2. So 9 by 2 can be said as 4.5. Okay. Now let's take this one, that is going to be 13. This is okay. So it is going to be 2y square minus 8y minus 5y plus 20, and that's equal to 0. Okay. 2y common, y minus 4, minus 5 common, y minus 4, and that's equal to 0. Okay. So 2y minus 5 and y minus 4, and that's equal to 0. So that gives me either y equal to 4 or y equal to 5 by 2. 5 by 2 is 2.5. Okay. Now, if y is 4, x is 3, y is greater. If y is 4, x is 4.5, then x is greater. But do we know which value of y we can take? We don't, because y can take either of the two values, x can take either of the two values. So I don't know what is the value of x, what is the value of y. So in some case, y is greater. In another case, x is greater. So can we actually establish the relation between x and y? No. So in that case, my answer of this question is going to be option B. So whenever we get these kind of questions, so this is the approach. We figure out the values and compare both of them and understood that what we should do. Okay. Now let's start this one. There are 3 questions based on this. A class of 200 students take 3 tests. Okay. A class of 200 students take 3 tests: English, mathematics, and general knowledge. Okay. 10 students fail in all 3 subjects. 125 in English, 95 passed in maths, 95 passed in GK, 50 passed in. Okay. So basically, there are some intersections. So this is definitely going to be a question of set theory, or I would say Venn diagram. Okay. So we have English, we have maths, and we have GK. Total number of people are 200, and 10 are failed in all 3. So basically, summation of this all 3 Venn diagrams should be equal to 190. Okay. 125 passed in English, so English is 125. 95 passed in maths, so 95. 95 passed in GK, so 95. Okay, so this is what we have. 55 passed in English and GK. Okay, so 55 passed in English and maths. Okay, so 55 passed in English and maths. So this total intersection comes out to be 55. Okay, 45 passed in maths and GK. Okay, so maths and GK is 45. This value is 45. Okay. 60 passed in English and GK. So English and GK, this is 60. Okay. There are 20 students who passed in math and English. Okay. 20 students means who passed in math and English, but they failed in GK. So this should be the region that is 20, and this total region is 55. It means all 3 should be equal to 35. Okay. So this comes out to be 35. So this is going to be 25. This is going to be 10. Now we are good to go. So this is going to be what? 60 plus 2, 80, 80. So it is going to be 45. 30, 65. So this is going to be 30. 60 plus 10, 70. So this value is going to be 25. Because total circle is 125. Out of 125, this is 20, this is 35, this is 25. So remaining 45 is going to go here. Similarly, total is 95. So 20, 35, and 10. So this value is going to be 30. Okay. Now let's solve first question. The number of students who passed in general knowledge and English but failed in maths. Okay. GK and English. So only GK and English. So only GK and English is 25. So answer of this question is going to be option B. That's fairly easy. Direct answer. I don't need to waste a lot of time. What is the number of students who passed in all 3 subjects? That's 35. Okay. The number of students who passed only in maths. So only in maths is 30. Right. So direct information is given. So answer of this question is going to be option A. That's 30. I hope everyone is clear with this. There are no doubts. So is there anyone who has any doubt in this set? So let's move on. Now, let's start this one. The present ages of father and his son are in the ratio of 7 is to 3. Okay? The ratio of their ages 8 years hence. Okay. So 8 years hence means 8 years after current age. So current age of the father is 7x, current age of the son is 3x. 8 years later, father's age is going to be 7x plus 8, son's age is going to be 3x plus 8, and this ratio is 2 to 1. Okay. So from here, we can directly say that 7x plus 8 is equal to 6x plus 16. So from here, what we can say, that is x equal to 8. So what is father's current age? 7x, that's 56. 16 years later, father's age is going to be 72. Son's age is 3x, that's 24. 16 years later, son's age is going to be 40. Okay. So I can cancel it by 8. So 8, I can cancel it by 8. So 8 9s are 72, 8 5s are 40. So ratio of 16 years later, ratio of their ages is going to be 9 is to 5. And that's the answer. So basically, whenever you get a question of ages, this is how you approach every question of age. So I think there are a couple of more questions, and let's see. Now, what does it say? Akash drives to a place at a speed of 15 km per hour for 3 hours. Okay, and covers half the distance. So 15 kilometers per hour for 3 hours, it means he is covering 45 kilometers, right? So 45 kilometers is half the distance in 3 hours. So next distance is again going to be 45 kilometers. Since he is running late, he increases his speed by 100%. It means he doubles his speed. So if his speed is double, then time is half, right? Because if you are traveling with a speed of 80, you are traveling for 2 hours. Then if you travel with a speed of 40, you are going to take double the time. That's 4 hours, right? So it is 3 hours with a speed of 15. So with a speed of 30, it's going to be 1.5 hours. So his total travel time is 4.5 hours and total distance that he's covering is 90. And that's what question is saying. If the mileage of the car is 12 kilometers per liter, okay, so for 90 kilometers, how much petrol it is going to take? So 90 divided by 12, that comes out to be 7.5. Okay. Then the amount of petrol consumed per hour. Okay. So total 7.5 liters is consumed in how many hours? 4.5 hours. So it means how much per hour? That is going to be 7.5 divided by 4.5. So 75 divided by 45. So this is going to be 5 upon 3. So 5 upon 3 is going to be 1.66 or 1.67. So answer of this question is going to be option A, and that's how we are going to solve the question. Okay. Now, let's see this question. What does it say? 3 men or 8 boys can do a piece of work in 17 days. Okay. So I am again asking everyone that whenever you feel a little uncomfortable, you have some doubts, so ask. Post your doubts in the chat box. I'll take your doubts. Okay. So there are 3 men, okay, or 8 boys. Means efficiency of 3 men must be equal to efficiency of 8 boys. This is what that is given. So what I'm going to do, I am going to assume the efficiency of per person total efficiency of 3 men or 8 boys is 24. So what is the efficiency of 1 man? That is going to be 8. What is the efficiency of 1 boy? That's going to be 3. Now 3 men can finish a job in 17 days. So 3 men are going to do 24 units in how many days? 17 days, and that's the total work. Now question is saying there are 2 men and 6 boys. Okay. So 2 men means 16. 2 men means 16 units. Okay. 6 boys means 18. Okay. And uh, in how many days? D days. Okay. 2 men and 6 boys. So 6 boys is 18. 2 men is 16. Okay. So it is going to be 24 into 17 is equal to 34 into D. Okay. So this comes out to be 2. This comes out to be 12. So how many days we are talking about? That is 12 days. And answer of this question is option D. Whenever you see these kind of questions, this is the approach that you are going to take. In which question? All the questions. Okay. So now let's move on to the next one. What does it say? It says A alone can complete a piece of work in 18 days. Okay. He undertook to complete same piece of work in 15 days for 1200 rupees. Okay. To complete the task, he took help of B on the last 3 days. Okay. How much money will B earn? Okay. So I don't care how many days B is working. B is working for 3 days. B is working for 2 days. B is working for 5 days. It never makes a difference. So basically, what makes a difference? How much work B is going to do. The difference is how much work B is going to do. Right. Now A alone can finish a job in 18 days, and A is working for 15 days. So how many days work is not doing? That is 3 days work. And 3 days work is being done by whom? That is being done by B. It means B is going to get the pay worth of 3 days. And 3 days out of how many? 18 days. It means B is doing 1/6 of the work. So B will be getting 1/6 of the pay. So basically, what is the 1/6 of the pay? That is going to be 1200 divided by 6 or 200 rupees. You can directly solve this question without making equation, just by pure simple logic. The answer is right there in front of your eyes. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Question number 15. Okay. A tap can fill an empty tank in 12 hours. Okay. So a tap is filling, let's say tap is pipe A. Pipe A is filling in how many hours? 12 hours. Okay. The leakage is, let's say, tap B. It empties the whole tank in how much time? 20 hours. So I am assuming that total capacity of the tank is LCM of 12 and 20, that is 60. Okay. So 60 liters. So A is filling in how many hours? 12 hours. In 12 hours, how much? 60. So in 1 hour, how much A is filling? 5. B is emptying 60 in how many hours? B is emptying 60 in 20 hours. So in 1 hour, how much? 3. So A is filling 5, B is emptying 3. So effectively, if both of them are working simultaneously, so how much? 2. So effective work is 2 in 1 hour. Total capacity is 60. So how many hours it is going to take? That's going to be option C, 30 hours. Understood, everyone? Okay. Now let's start question number 16. Okay. Ravi purchased 124 books. Sunil purchased 86. Okay. Manish purchased 132. And Mona purchased 146 books. Okay. What is the average number of notebooks? So average number, this is a fairly easy question. that is 86 plus 132 plus 146. Okay, divide by 4. So 4 plus 6, 10, 10 plus 2, 12, 12 plus 6, 18 is 8. Carryover is what? 1. So 5 plus 3, 8, 8, 8, 16, 16 plus 2, 18, carryover 1. Then it is going to be 488 divided by 4. Okay. So this 488 divided by 4 directly comes out to be 122, and that's option B. Extremely easy, directly can be done. Okay, Priyanshi, I'll go back to the previous one. So a tap can fill a tank in 12 hours. Priyanshi, you are here, right? A tap can fill a tank in 12 hours. Okay. A leakage can empty the tank in 20 hours. Right? Okay. Now, generally, when we solve a question of time and work, we assume that work is one. Right? So when we solve these kind of questions, we assume that the efficiency of the tap is 1 by 12. Efficiency of the leakage is 1 by 20. But instead of that, that is a very much fractional approach. You use a lot of fractions. So when you use a lot of fractions, the chances of getting the answer wrong becomes the percentage of error margin increases. So what I do is, instead of assuming the capacity is 1, I am assuming the capacity of A and B, capacity of the tank is the multiple of the time, common multiple of time. I have taken a common multiple of 12 and 20, that is 60. If you want, you can take 120, you can take 240. The calculation will be similar, answer will be same, answer won't change, right? So I am assuming that the total capacity of the tank is 60 liters. A fills 60 liters in 12 hours. So in 1 hour, A fills 5 liters. B empties 60 liters in 20 hours. So in 1 hour, B empties 3 liters. Right? So now both of them are working together. So A is filling 5 liters. B is taking out 3 liters. So how much water actually is getting in? That is 2 liters only, right? 5 लीटर आया, 3 लीटर चला गया, तो टंकी में कितना बचा? 2 लीटर, right? So in 1 hour, only 2 liters water is getting in, and you need to fill 60 liters. So how much time you are going to take? 30 hours. Now are we clear? Okay. Now let's come to this one. Now 3/4 part of a tank is filled with the water. Now what is important? 3/4 part of a tank is filled with water and 50% is removed. Okay. So what I am going to do, I am going to assume the capacity of a tank that is multiple of 4. So let's say I am assuming the capacity of tank is 12x. So out of 12x, so 12 will not work. I think we should go with multiple of this. So I am assuming the capacity of tank is 24x. So out of 24, 3/4 is what? That is going to be 18x. 18x is filled with water and remaining 6x is empty. Right? Now 50% of the water is removed. It means how much water is remaining? That is 9x. And 60 liter of pure milk is added. So basically now the tank has 9x liters of water and 60 liters of milk. Now ratio of milk is to water is equal to 5:4. Okay, so this comes out to be what? 5, 15. So 9x comes out to be what? 9x comes out to be 75. Okay. So I can say 3x comes out to be what? 25. Okay. What is the capacity of the tank? That is 24x. Okay. So, oh, sorry. This is going to be, did I make a mistake somewhere? This is, okay. So if I am assuming total capacity is 24x, so out of 24x, water is 3/4. So 3/4 is 18x is water, 6x is empty. 50% of the water is removed. So out of 18x, how much water is left out? That is 9x. And this 60 liters of water is added. Now the ratio of milk is to water is 5 is to, oh, I made a mistake. And what is that mistake? That mistake is I have taken the wrong ratio. The question is saying I have taken milk is to water, water is to milk ratio. The question is talking about milk is to water ratio. So milk is how much? Milk is 60. Water is how much? 9x. And this ratio is equal to 5 is to 4. Okay. So this comes out to be 12. So I can say 9x is equal to how much? 48. Okay. So 3x comes out to be what? 3x is equal to 16. What is the capacity of the tank? That is 24x. So if I multiply it by 8, 8. So 24x will come out to be 128 liters. So answer of this question is going to be option B. So this is how you can approach the question. Otherwise, if you assume that initial capacity is 4x, then 3x water is there. So half the tank is empty, so 1.5x is remaining. So you can solve it like this as well. But to avoid this decimal value, I have, instead of taking a multiple of 4, I have taken a multiple of 8. Okay. Now, the next one. So I hope everyone understood the previous question as well. Now it says, in a mixture of a milk and water, the proportion of water by weight is 75%. 75% is what? 3/4. 60, if in the 60 gram mixture, 15 gram water is added. So the mixture is 60 gram. So out of 60 grams, how much water is there? That is 3/4. 3/4 means 45. Now 15 grams water is added. So water has total solution has become 75. Water has become 45 plus 15, that is 60. Okay. Then what is the percentage of water? So percentage of water is going to be 60 divided by 75 into 100, or I can say that is 4, that is 5. So this is going to be 20, or I would say 80%. So answer of this question is going to be option D. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. What does it say is, Sneh buys X eggs to resell at a profit of 10%. Okay. So I'm not going by X. I'm taking 100. So I am saying that she bought 100 rupees of eggs and she wants to sell it at 110. Okay. Unfortunately, she loses 10%. It means what is left out now? That is 19 rupees of X. But she still wants to get a profit of 10%. It means she still wants to sell it at 110. So how much profit does she need now? 20 rupees profit. At what selling? That is at a price of 90. So into 100. So that comes out to be 22.22%. So answer of this question is going to be option C. I think all the 4 options are wrong because answer should be 22.22%. So that's what the answer should be. And because I would have taken the closest one, but we also have 22.8. So I would say that one of the option is 23 point something. Then in that case, I'll mark option C. Okay. Now let's start this one. So I hope everyone is clear till question number 19. In any case, anyone has any doubt, just do let me know. I'll take your query. Now, this one. A alone can do a piece of work in 6 days. Okay. So A finishes a job in 6 days. B finishes a job in 8 days. Okay. So what is the common multiple of 6 and 8? 24. So I am assuming that total work is 24 units. Okay. Now what is happening? A is doing 4 units every day. B is doing 3 units every day. Okay. Now A, B, and C, all three of them finish the job in 3 days. So it means A, B, and C, all three of them are doing 8 units every day. So out of 8, 4 is done by A, 3 is done by B. So how much is going to be done by C? That is 1 unit every day. Okay. Now, so in 3 days, how much A is going to do? That is 12 units. In 3 days, how much B is going to do? That is going to be 9 units. In 3 days, how much C is going to do? That is 3 units. So this is the ratio of their work. So ratio of their work is 4 is to 3 is to 1. So the amount of money will also be in the ratio of 4 is to 3 is to 1. So BC is going to be paid 1/8 of total amount. And what is total amount? That's 3,200. So answer of that question is going to be option B. That is 400 rupees. Okay. Now let's move on to next question. What does it says? It says in what ratio of 20% copper sulfate? Okay. So we have 20% copper sulfate. Okay. Then we have 40% copper sulfate. And we are making 28% copper sulfate. So this comes out to be 12. This comes out to be 8. So in which ratio they should be mixed? That is 12 is to 8, or I can say 3 is to 2. That's directly option C. So to use this concept, you should be very comfortable with mixture and alligation. And these kind of questions can be solved directly by using alligation. You don't have to invest a lot of time. Just look at the question. Whatever is being mixed comes to the top. Whatever the final value, that comes in the middle. That's it. And you directly get the answer. Now, let's see this question. What does it say? It says two pipes P and Q can fill a big tank in 20 minutes and 24 minutes. Okay. So P fills in 20 minutes. Q fills in 24 minutes. Okay. And third pipe. Okay. Okay. So basically, I'll look at R later on. Okay. So I am taking this is 24 minutes and this is 20 this. So I am assuming total work as 120x. Generally, I do not assume x, but in this question, this value is given 3 gallons per minute. So that's the reason instead of assuming the value of 120, I am assuming it is 120x. So efficiency of P is 6x. Efficiency of Q is how much? 5x. Okay. Together, they can fill the tank in 15 minutes, all three of them. Okay. So P plus Q plus R are filling the tank in 15 minutes. Okay. So how much work is being done? That is 8x. Okay. A filled 6x, B filled 5x. Still then only 8x is getting in. Why? Because R is taking out 3x per minute, right? And how much it is taking out? That's 3 gallons. So 3x should be equal to 3. So x comes out to be 1. So now what is the capacity of the tank? That is going to be 120 into 1. That's going to be 120 gallons. So this type of question we have done, I think we have done 3 or 4 questions of this type. And if you see, approach of this kind of question has always been same, never different, never whenever you are going to get a question of pipe cisterns or time and work, the approach is always going to be same. You assume total work as the common multiple of the times and you solve accordingly. Then you get the efficiency, then you can get the answer very easily of any of these kind of questions. Now these kind of questions are back. Now let's see what does it says. It says x square minus 2x minus 35. Okay, so I can say x minus 7 into x plus 5. Just factorize it. So this comes out, this gives us x is equal to either 7 or minus 5. Okay. This is y minus 7 or y minus 9. So what is the value of y? Y is going to be 9 or 7. Okay. Now if y is 9, then y is always greater than x. X can be 7, x can be minus 5, y is still greater. If y is 7, then x can be equal, x can be smaller. It means y is either equal to x or y is greater than x. So from here I can say y is greater equal than x for any set of values. So answer of this question is going to be option C, that is x is always less than equal to y. This is the approach that we have seen these kind of questions before. So you figure out and see in all the possible combinations what are the possible arrangements of x and y are there. Now let's look at this one. The average marks of English is 56. Okay. If the marks of three students were misread as 44, 45, and 61 in lieu of actual marks of 48, 59, and 67. Okay. Now, if you want to calculate the actual average, you need to increase this guy's marks by 4. So now to calculate correct average, the value should increase by 4. And here, how much it should increase? 14. Here, how much it should increase? 67. 61 to 67, 6. So what should be the total increment in sum? It should be 24, right? What is the total number of students? That's 24. So how much increase should be there in the average? That should be 1. So initial average was what? 56. Now what should be the average? That's 57. So answer of this question is option B. You don't calculate, you don't use variables for these kind of questions. So you can directly get the answer. So you can directly work on uh, the summation and see the difference in summation, and accordingly you can definitely get the answer easily. Now let's move on to the next one. Okay. Now Paresh and Sachin working together can finish a work in D days. Okay. Paresh alone can finish a work in D plus 8 days, while Sachin alone can do the same work in D plus 32 days. Then in how many days they can do together? Okay. But so they can do the work together in D days. So I need to directly find the value of D. Okay. So that's what question is saying. Okay. So in one day, how much Paresh is doing? 1 upon D plus 8. In one day, how much Sachin is doing? 1 upon D plus 32. Okay. And in one day, how much work is being done? That is 1 upon D. Okay. So that's what question is. Right. Now, what is the approach I'm going to take? And am I going to solve, make a quadratic equation and get the answer? Yes, even with the help of quadratic equation, I don't think that would be a problem. So what I'm going to do, D plus 32 plus D plus 8 divided by D plus 8 into D plus 32. and that's equal to 1 upon d. Okay. So from here I am going to get 2d plus 4t into d, and that's equal to d plus 8 into d plus 32. Now I'm stuck. Make a quadratic equation. What I'm going to do? I don't know. So what I'm going to do at this point of time, I'm going to take d as 16. Okay. So 32 plus 40, that's 72 into 16. Okay. And that's equal to 16 plus 8, that's 24. And 16 plus this, that is 42, 48. Okay. Now I need to check whether LHS is equal to RHS or not. So 16 threes are. Does it match? Yes, I got my answer. That's option A. If it doesn't match, I would have used another value of D, that is 20. If it still doesn't work, I would have used third value. If it still doesn't work, it means my answer is D. I don't need to check for the fourth value because the maximum number of values I need to check is 3. Because if three are wrong, then answer should be fourth only, right? So I have written till this point, then use the value. You could have used the values at this stage itself. Still, then that would have been fine, right? So in these kind of questions, when you are stuck, right? So in this question, actual number of days were not given. That Paresh is doing in 7 days, Sachin is doing in 12 days. Then you can assume the total work. But in this case, that thing is missing, right? So that's the reason we are going with the approach of fraction. Again, if we are using the approach of fraction, still then you can solve this question easily by the help of options. If you are not using options, then this is a question that shouldn't be done in the exam because it is going to take a lot of time, and in that time you can do a lot of other questions. Okay, now let's start this one and see what's the approach. So a shopkeeper purchased 6 kg rice at 12 per kg. Okay, so what is the total price of rice? I would say 72. Mixed it with 2 kg of white grains. Okay, so what is the price of grain? That is 28. Okay. So total price is 100 right now. Okay, so the total price is what? 6 kg and 2. So I have 6 kg, I have 2 kg, and total price is 100. Okay, for how much? 8 kg. Okay. Now it says the mixture needs to be grinded before selling. Okay, the grinding of the mixture costs 20 paisa per kg. So what is the average price? That is 100 divided by 8, and that comes out to be 12.5. Okay. Now if you add the grinding cost per kg, that becomes 12.7 because 20 paisa per kg. Okay. Now you need the profit of what? Profit of 20%. Right? You need a profit of 20%. So 20% of 12 is what? 20% of 12 is 2.4. So 12.7 plus 2.4 is going to be 15 point something. So your selling price must be greater than 15, and there is only one option that is giving you value that's greater than 15. That's option D. So that's how you solve the question. You don't need to calculate everything. Just go with one price per kg and then add 20% on that. That's it. Nothing much to do. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. What does it says? I think I'm not going to solve this question because 667 is a very bad number. What I'm going to do with it? This is 30, 22. No. This is 29 and 23. Will it work? Okay. Yeah, I think it should work. So x minus 29, x minus 23, and that's equal to 0. Okay. So x is either 23 or 29. Okay. Now just dividing everything by 2. So y square plus 10y plus 25. And that's equal to 0. And I can directly say that y plus 5 whole square. So this is going to give us y equal to minus 5. Okay. So y is negative, x is always positive. So it means x is always going to be greater than y. Now, that is one thing to do. Now, do you actually need to solve this? No, actually, this is something. Priyanshi, the total number of questions we get is 8. So, do you actually need to factorize this? No. Actually, if you see, this is negative and this is positive, right? It means both the roots are going to be positive. If this is positive, this is also positive. It means both the roots are going to be negative. Priyanshi, a total of 30 questions. So here the value of y is always going to be negative. Value of x is going to be always positive. So x is always going to be greater than y. You don't actually need to get the value of individual value of x and y. By using this logic, we can directly get the answer of this question. Now let's move on to the next one. Average height of 13 people reduces by 2 centimeters. So if average is decreased by 2, it means sum is decreased by 26. Right. Now, how that sum is being decreased? If you replace a guy with 184 height to someone and remaining 7 people are same. So because of one replacement, sum is decreasing by 26. It means that replacement itself is having 26, the difference of 26. So the height of the new person is directly going to be 158, right? Average height of 13 people is reduced by 2 centimeter. It means sum of the height is going to be decreased by 26. And that decrement is happening because of the replacement. So one guy is having a height of 184 centimeters. So the new guy who's coming, he must have 26 centimeter less height than 184 guy. So that's how we can calculate the answer. It is a direct answer. Now let's see this question. What does it say? There are two pipes A and B that can fill the tank in 12 hours, 15 hours respectively. So tank A takes 12 hours. Tank B takes, pipe B takes 15 hours. Pipe C takes 30 hours. So what is the common multiple of this? So common multiple is 16. So A fills 5, B fills 4, and C empties 2. So 5 liter, 4 liter is getting in, 2 liter is coming out. So basically, effectively, how much that is being filled? That is 7. Okay. Now, how much we need to fill? That is 70% of the tank. 70% of 60 is how much? 42. So 42 liters is supposed to be filled. In 1 hour, how much is being filled? That is 7 liters. So basically, how many hours we are going to take? That's going to be option B, or I would say 6 hours. Now the next one. A milkman makes a profit of 20% on the sale of the milk. Okay. If he added 10 liters of water, by what percent his profit increases? So I am assuming that cost of the milk is 1. He is selling. So selling price of the milk is going to be 1.2. 20% profit. He has 100 liters of milk. Okay. So what is his selling price? That is 120. Now he added 10 liters of water. So how much does he have? 110. Now what would be his selling price? That is 110 liters at a price of 1.2. So his selling price was 132. In the first case, what was the profit amount? 20. In the second case, what is the profit amount? That's 32. So his profit is going from 20 to 32. So increment of profit is 12 out of 20 into 100. So this comes out to be how much? This is 5. So this comes out to be 60%. His profit is increasing by 60%. So this is how we can solve this question. And so in any case, any doubts, you can ask in the chat box, or you can drop a message in the comment box. And we have another session of law marathon, logical reasoning, where we are going to do last minute revision and most expected questions. Thank you.